In today's class, we're going to talk about a very beautiful poem which is written by William Wordsworth. You must have known this poet that we have already studied his poems. So in today's class, we're going to talk about the solitary reaper. Okay, now in this poem, a poet has described a very beautiful feelings about a small girl being in an agriculture farm and doing her cropping. So here the poet describes what she does in the field. Okay, the name of the poem is The Solitary Reaper, written by William Wordsworth. Now let me introduce the poet to you. Yes, he was an English poet, a key figure of Romanticism. I repeat, William Wordsworth was an English poet, a key figure of Romanticism. He was born on 7th April and he died on 23rd April. His famous poems were Daffodils, Loneliness, Melancholy, Rebelliousness, Isolations are expressed through poetic words. Now this is about the poet William Wordsworth. So now let's begin the poem. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass. Alone she cuts and winds the grain and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to varied brands of travelers in some shabby haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the sea among the furthest hybrids. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow. For old, unhappy, far-off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today? Some natural sorrow, loss or pain that has been and may be again. Whatever the theme, a maiden sang, as if her song could have no endings. I saw her singing at her work, and over the sickle bending, I listened motionless and still, and I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore. After long it was heard no more. So now here children, as I was reading, you could at least understand what the poet would have told about the girl, what she was doing in the field. Yes, she was singing a song. And now that song, what has done to the poet? Now here in the poem, the relationship I would like to tell you, the poet has described the relationship between the poet and the reader. That is, the poet and the reader, I am reading and you all are reading, so it is connected to the poet and the reader. And the poet and the girl, that is the maiden here, is a young girl who is not married. And the reader and the girl. Yeah, this is what the poet connects with them. Okay, now we will start understanding what exactly William Wordsworth explained. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass. Now here there was a young maiden, that is, maiden is an unmarried girl who was in the field, and she was young. She was doing her cropping, that is, she was reaping there, collecting the crops and doing the field work. Reaping and singing by herself. What she was doing? She was doing that work, the field work, and she was also singing a song. Stop here or gently pass. Now what here the poet says? The girl is doing her work and she's enjoying with singing a song. So those who want to cross by, those who want to pass by her, do not disturb. Listen to her and just move aside. That's what he says. If you want, stop here or gently pass. Go without disturbing her. Alone she cuts and binds the grain and sings a melancholy strain. So here she is all alone and she is enjoying her work and singing a song. The song is something related to the sad song. Melancholy means a sad song. Melancholy means a sad song she is singing. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. Now here, what the poet describes, she is singing a sad song, but still it is very nice for me to listen to her song. The whole valley is overflowing with her beautiful sound. Yes, she sings so beautifully. The whole area is overflowing with her sound. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary brands of travelers in some shabby haunt among Arabian sands. Now here the poet describes two birds, that is, one is a nightingale. You all know that nightingale bird sings very beautifully. So now here the poet compares, the first bird is nightingale. He compares her song with the nightingale, saying that no nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary brands. Weary brands means the tired traveler, those who have tired, those who have become tired in traveling. When they are walking, you can listen to such a beautiful tone, he says. Of travelers in some shabby haunt among Arabian seas, among Arabian sands. So now here he says, even the traveler can refresh themselves listening to that song, as the whole area is overflowing with her tone, with the sound. Even the travelers can refresh listening to her tune. So here he also compares her tune is more better than a cuckoo's. Nightingale, and in the then coming up here, he also compares it with the second singing bird, that is the cuckoo. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the forest hybrids. Now here, as I told you, the poet compares two beautiful birds, that is, two beautiful singing birds, that is nightingale and the cuckoo here. So here he says that even the traveler can come and rejoice and refresh with her tune, and even we have the second bird here, cuckoo. What is the meaning of thrilling? It gives such an excitement and such a pleasure. Thrilling means I'm very excited and I'm very pleasure listening to the tone here. So here the poet compares with two birds. I repeat, no nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary brand. Now, as I told you, very brand means even the tired traveler are listening to her tune. Of travelers in some shandy haunt, among Arabian sands, a voice so thrilling never was heard. Her voice is so thrilling that the poet wouldn't have heard that in springtime from the cuckoo bird. Now he also says that even I have never heard it from cuckoo singing in this springtime season. Breaking the silence of the seas among the furthest hybrids. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plantative numbers flow. So here the poet says, will anybody tell me, will anybody describe what she's trying to say, what she's singing? Because I don't understand her language. Perhaps the plantative numbers flow. Plantative meaning children, it refers to the sad music of the song. She is singing song, something the poet is able to identify. The poet is able to say that it is something related to sad. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plantative numbers flow. For old, unhappy, far of things and battles long ago. Is that she singing a song which is related to the present or the past or the future? Now here the poet also describes that, is she thinking about the old things or is she thinking about something about unhappy things? What is she connected to? Is it to the present, past or future? Or it is some more humbly familiar matters of today, some natural worries, loss or pain that has been and may be again. Here, the theme of the song is being guessed that, is she talking something about her daily life or is she talking about what is happening to her? I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to understand her language, poet describes. Whatever the theme the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. Now here the poet says, I don't understand what she's singing, but I am so impressed with her tune that I think her song has no ending. I saw her singing at her work and over a sackle bending. Sackle means here it's an instrument used to cut the grasses which is in a curved blade. Okay children, a sickle means it is an instrument to cut the grass which is in a curved blade. Yeah. Whatever I think the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work and over a sickle bending. I listened motionless and still. So here the poet describes a word saying that I was motionless and still listening to her tune. The music in my heart I bore, long after I was heard and no more. So he says he was so much mesmerized with the singing of that young girl. And he says that I was motionless and still. The music in my heart I bore. He took the music very, very happily into his heart. After long, it was heard no more. After that, it was heard and no more. This was a beautiful poem described by William Wordsworth. What he says, how beautifully the girl comes into the farm and comes into the field and does her work along singing. This is what he has described here. Now let us see again the meaning. Lass is a maiden. Maiden means a young unmarried girl, a young girl. Thrilling, it means excitement and pleasure. Thrilling, excitement and pleasure. Plaintive numbers refers to the sad music of the song. It refers to the sad music of the song. Sickle, sickle is an instrument which is used to cut grass, a curved blade. Okay, it is a curved blade. Melancholy, it is a sad song related to the poem. Melancholy, it is a sad song. Strain, strain is a tone or the tune. I am talking about the poem described here. Strain is a tone or a tune of the song. Weary bands, tired travelers, the people who are coming from other places, even though they are tired, listening to her song, they can refresh. And the relationship the poet has put here is the poet and the reader, the poet and the girl, and the reader and the girl. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me in the next class. Thank you, children.